Hi, my name is Scarlet, and this is my January 2021 bullet journal setup. My theme this month is these beautiful lanterns that are inspired by actually a candle holder my mom had when I was younger. She still has it. But I wanted to do something pretty minimal with simple calligraphy to adorn the title. Nothing too fancy, no calligraphy pens or anything, just a fine liner and some simple script. And then these beautiful lanterns done in yellow, a beautiful golden color. I don't exactly know where this inspiration came from, but I do know that a large portion of the actual design was taken inspiration from a post on Pinterest that I will link in the description if anyone is interested in the original creator. And most of this setup is just done with two pens, a size 3 Sakura Pigma Micron and a size 03, and a golden Crayola Supertip. And then occasionally I also use the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen. But all of the materials that I use, including pencils, erasers, and my journal itself, are linked in the description down below. So make sure you check out all of the materials down there, as well as the information for my editor. If you'd like her to edit your videos, her information will be down below. So I'm drawing a couple different things for this setup. I did the diamond-shaped lanterns, and then I also did these in my head they're spell bottles or mason jars, and the curly stuff in the bottom in my head is fairy lights, and so you'll see me drawing on the little lights. And then the last thing hanging from the strings are these pretty little moons, and then I just drew in some curvy little star things because I think they're pretty. And I'm coloring everything in with just that one color of that yellow Crayola Supertip marker. And then on the other side of the page, I have a quote page to keep with me during the January month. And I have the quote, "I am out with lanterns looking for myself," which is a quote from Emily Dickinson. And I think that it's very appropriate for me because I want 2021 to be about focusing on me and focusing on what is most important in my life genuinely, and not what has been important in the past. I find myself stuck in the past quite a lot, and I think that that's not the most healthy. So I want to really focus on me and finding myself. And I thought that it was a perfect quote since it has the word lanterns in it, and my whole theme is lanterns. So I just mixed up the font with a bold, fun font, the same capital font from my 2021 setup, which if you haven't seen that video is already out on my channel. And if you want to watch it, it is a whole lot of fun. And then a simple cursive, some of which is done just with a fine liner and some of which is done with the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen. So I have it all measured out ahead of time, and I'm drawing in my lanterns and my mason jars, my jars with lights in them, and my little moons and my little star pointy things because I think that they're kind of fun. And then I erase all of the pencil yet again, and this big eraser that I use is a big circle, and it came in a pack that was meant to look like macarons, which is pretty fun, but it's a giant eraser. It's gonna last me forever, and I have 10. And then I add the yellow Crayola Supertip color to all the little sparkles and moons and lanterns. And I love those little fairy lights in the jars. And then I'm just highlighting the word myself because it is the most important word in the quote to me. And then we will move on to my calendar. So this is my January 2021 calendar layout. I decided to align it vertically and mostly to the left. And I wanted to make clean, really pretty floating boxes that are separate from each other instead of having the calendar be entirely connected, because I thought it looked nice. And so I'm just drawing all my little lines, and I don't use a ruler. I do have a little ruler in case I ever really want a particularly straight line, but because it is a dotted journal, I'm using the Archer and Olive A5 dotted journal. Because it has the dots, I find it pretty easy to draw pretty straight lines, and I'm also not super particular about my lines being entirely straight all of the time. You know, I have some with little bends in them, and I think that just adds to the character of the drawing and how I can tell that it's hand created. I mean, I can tell I made it, but how other people might be able to tell that it's hand created and not, you know, drawn on a computer or something like that. So I'm copying that same nice, like clean fine liner cursive for the January title, and I have 2021 written next to it. I normally don't put the year in my calendar, but because it is the first month of the new year after such a crazy year, I wanted to highlight to myself that it is the new year, and this month will be full of work and prepping for the next semester for me because I don't start my next semester of school for quite some time. So this will be a busy, busy work month for me. Now I'm just drawing in all of my lanterns and my little jars and sparkles the same way that I have on the rest of the pages so that everything matches and, you know, flows together and is cohesive. And I really like that I chose to only use the one color and black this month. I think that that's really nice, and I like that I chose yellow. I think it's bright and warm and gives a really good energy to January. I find January to be a very dreary month for me often because it's just so cold and I don't do well with, you know, it being dark all the time, but the days are getting longer and I am going to be holding up my lantern to the darkness until the light comes back and it's warm and sunny again. Now I'm moving on to my habit tracker page, and this one is actually laid out completely differently from any other habit tracker page I've ever done. I have tried the horizontal like box calendar method and also the individual like mini calendars where I write out the days of the month over and over again, and I got tired of it. So I wanted to change things up, and I decided to change things up by going with these circles, and you'll see that I draw quite a lot of circles, and some of them are not so circular, but that's okay because nobody's perfect. And I think it'll be really fun to bubble each of these in every day, and I haven't decided whether I'm going to bubble them in yellow or in black yet, but I guess we will find out. Oh, I just realized that the theme is yellow and black, and I'm really into bumblebees. I might do bees as a theme later in the year. Speaking of other themes, if you have anything that you'd really like to see me do, I'm always open to suggestions. Usually I have things planned out a couple months in advance, but I'm always looking for new creative ideas and new things to try in my bullet journal. So if you have something that you think would be really awesome for me to do, please let me know. Oh gosh, those circles are so messy. So you'll see that I just draw in all of the circles, which made my wrist hurt very badly, but is completely okay now. And these are my habits: water, food, sleep, teeth, which means like flossing and using mouthwash and everything, stretching, exercising, which I don't need to do every day, but I do want to track how often I'm doing it. I'd like to do it 3 or 4 times a week. Taking my vitamins, doing French on Duolingo, and the bottom one is 5-year journal. I have a 5-year journal that I fill out, and I want to make sure that I'm keeping track of how often I'm doing that because I don't want to get behind. I added a little quote at the bottom just done in simple letters. I didn't want to do anything fancy, and it's just a little progress. I can't see it because my arm's in the way. A little progress each day adds up to big results. And then I drew in just a couple of little lanterns and I will add a little bit of yellow after I'm done erasing all of the pencil marks. And on the other side of the page, you see me erasing pencil as well, and you'll find out why in just a second after I'm done adding all of the yellow to this page and all of my little fun sparkles. So on the right-hand side of the page, I'm actually pasting in a watercolor that I did just a couple of days ago. I got watercolors for Christmas and I haven't used them since I was a kid. And this was my first watercolor that I tried to do. It is a scene from, a shot from the movie Tangled, but I thought that it was a fun thing to put in since I decided to do the lanterns, and I'm just writing over it, "At last I see the light," which is obviously the quote from the song during the lantern scene in Tangled. And I love Disney and I love the movie Tangled, and lanterns are my theme, so I thought that it was perfect, and I'm just gonna paste it in and be proud of the work that I've done, even though I'm not super experienced in watercolors and I know I will grow a lot over time. I'm really looking forward to using watercolors in my bullet journal, possibly in my February theme actually. And then you'll see me using this tape roller that I got at Michael's, and it basically dispenses double-sided tape out of this like roller, and it's super, super useful. And then you'll see me spending a long time lining this up and trying to make sure that it's perfect, and then I still mess up the line up just a little bit. So it's a little lower on the page than I would have liked, and you'll see me just trim off the bottom of the watercolor, and then it's pasted in. And I thought it was cute and like a really fun pop of color, and it used purple, which was from my yearly setup. This is my first weekly spread. I am starting with Monday the 4th as my first day of the week, and you'll see I made a little mistake and covered it with a little bit of white gel pen because I made the bottom line too long, but that's okay. And I wanted to do a really minimalist vertical layout this month. I have been really experimenting with different shapes in monthly layouts and different like designs, and I've never done one so minimal as this. So I drew this in, and what it is just cursive for the headers of the days and a little bit of guidance. So I have the events section at the top, which I didn't label because I know that the events go there, and then the bottom big section is for my daily tasks. And I'm really excited to see how the minimal layout goes for me. I've never tried it before, and I'm very, very excited. So I'm drawing in all my lanterns, and then you'll see at the very top right-hand corner, I have a little box for next week. It's not actually a box, I just write the words next week there, and I just wanted to have a section because I do like to look to the week ahead and be ready for when things are coming. So I wrote that in up there just that I would have a place to put it. And then here I'm using the Tombow Fudenosuke hard tip brush pen to do these day of the week calligraphies, and that will finish out the weekly spread, that and the coloring in the yellow. Here is the flip through of my January setup. The pages didn't want to behave, but thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and feel free to subscribe to see my future bullet journal videos. Again, everything I used is linked in the description, as well as my social media handles, and I will see you guys next month.